Hey guys, it's Dylan from Mining with Meanies here. Today we are on the lower Coquihalla River. We're looking for some jade, jasper, whatever we can find, and I'm gonna teach you guys how to cut a cabochon. So, let's get it.
No way, guys, check this out.
Okay guys, so we are here for not even 5 minutes and Sam brings over this nice piece right here, guys. It looks like it has a nice layer right there of jade. This area here is known to have lenses of jade up to 5 centimeters thick, but I'm thinking we can find some that are a little bit bigger. But awesome find. Just walking down, another wicked piece here, guys. So the reason that I chose this location to search is somewhere up in the hills behind me. I haven't really located it exactly. There was a mine in 1960 or late 1950s to the early 1970s, and it was called the King Jade Mine. And yeah guys, it was a local jade mine here, so super excited. We're gonna have to do SG tests on all this stuff, but super pumped. Guys, check this one out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, I'll get you guys a close-up with the torch on this one. It's beautiful. Well, I think we might have just found our new favorite jade hunting spot, because like, look at this, guys. Like, it's everywhere. It is everywhere. Like, it is absolutely everywhere. This is sweet. Look at this, guys. Look at how beautiful that is. Absolutely gorgeous. Definitely bringing this one home, guys. Sweet. So there's a lot of serpentine in this area, guys. Like, this whole boulder here is serpentine. But the cool thing about this stuff is there are a lot of lenses of nephrite jade that are on them. So I've explained this to you guys before in past videos, but if you guys are just tuning in now, jade is like serpentine's cousin that got a little bit more heat and a little bit more pressure and a couple different minerals in there. But so if you guys are finding serpentine, a serpentine locality somewhere in the mountains, there are very good chances that you might find some nephrite jade beside it. So just keep your eyes out. So I just found a cool piece of trisitol, guys. And what that is it is asbestos fibers which grow inside of serpentine. So if you guys can see, I will get you guys a close-up so you can see it better, but there's a kind of a crystal-y structure here. It almost looks like tourmaline, and that is what really points out the trisitol to me. Super cool. I'll get you guys a close-up. All right, so I might have just found what they were meaning by the lenses on there. If you guys can see in that top area there, how it's kind of a different color than down in the bottom. Well, I think that might actually be your jade lens. As you can see, it's fairly translucent, has really bright green color. Let's see if I can turn this up a bit more. So that is what I'm going to be looking for, guys. So I might try to break a little bit of this off so that I can take it home and do an SG test on it. But awesome, super cool. Got Sam digging in his pocket here, finding some wicked pieces. Again, I think these darker ones are serpentine, guys, but they are still really cool to find. This is an awesome spot. There we go. If you guys can see that top layer there that is bright green, that is a jade lens, guys. That is what I am looking for. Absolutely beautiful. Sweet. Now this one is a good representation of a lens. So if you guys see in this top layer here, it's a lot lighter and it is super translucent. Like, look at how deep that translucency goes, guys. That is gorgeous. And up in here, super green. So I think this piece might have to come home with us, guys. Beautiful. So here's a nice boulder. And if you guys can see this lip here, there's a lip there and then a high lip here. This right here is a lens of jade. Get the torch out. You guys can see how translucent that is. It is absolutely insane, guys. So I'm gonna try to break off a small piece of this, see if I can get it off without completely shattering it. So let's try. See if we can get a chunk of this lens off here, guys. Trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this. Big chunks off of that. Maybe slowly work my way into it if I can. A little bit there, it's super thin though. I'd like more of this chunk. If I can get it. Down a little bit further than that. Let's rock out of the way maybe. It's got a little bit of a jade lens on it, not too much though. Huh. A little bit. Get closer. Ooh. Oh, one of those might have a chunk on it. Got a little bit on this one, guys. That to the side. None on those ones. But I'm getting really close to that spot that I want. So, break the back off that. There we go. As I'm breaking off the back of the stone, guys, as I want this piece here, what I'm trying to do is create fissures that go this way without destroying that piece. So, always work from the back and the front when you're trying to get a piece. Don't always just go from one way because you most likely are going to destroy it. Getting there. That just crumbled on me. Oh, there we go. Got a nice chunk of the lens here, guys. Beautiful. Might be able to get that thicker chunk there, but it might give me some issues with the way that it fractured here. I have a feeling it might pop off like halfway through it. So close. I got it. I got the one main chunk that I wanted, guys. Let's get the torch on that, see what it looks like. Whew. That is gemmy. Super gemmy. Sweet. Alright guys, so that about wraps up our hunt. We got some wicked pieces of serpentine and hopefully jade. We're going to do the SG test when we get home and figure out if it has the right hardness. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up our cab machine and we're going to teach you guys how to cut a cabochon. So we'll see you at home. So we're home now, guys. Let's get this cab machine turned on and teach you guys how to cut a cabochon. Alright guys, so these are the pieces that I chose. I think I might be cutting the cabochon out of this one. But the thing with these weird jade lenses is it's really hard for me to do a specific gravity test on this stuff unless I'm just using that jade lens, because it is picking up the specific gravity mostly of the serpentine body that it is attached to. So that kind of threw me off a bit, but you know what guys, I'm still going to show you guys how to cut a cabochon out of this. I'm going to zoom in a little on you for you. You guys can see what I mean by that jade lens. How it is a completely different looking material than what is on the bottom. So that is super cool, but let's get this cab machine turned on and get a rough shape out of this so we can turn it into a cab. So you can definitely tell that the bottom here is serpentine by how soft it is when I hit it. You see how it gives me this grayish mud? That is how you know that that part is serpentine for sure, because jade will basically give you a white powder more than a gray powder, and that's kind of how you can tell the difference on a cab machine. But we're starting to get a bit of a pear shape here. If you don't have anything to trace your cabochon with and you're doing just a rough cut, you want to try to use as much of the stone as possible. So try to go with whatever natural shape your chunk of stone is in and try to cut it from there. It helps you get a larger stone, and if you're cutting something like a opal or ruby or something like that, it also adds a lot more carat weight to the piece, which can help with value. There's a bit of a better example for you guys. You can see on that side it's super gray, and on this side it is super white. So there is your serpentine coming off, and that is your jade from your jade cap coming off. Try to zoom it in for you guys so you can see it a little bit better. See, 1/2 gray, 1/2 white. So I'm fairly confident that yes, this is a jade cap, even though I couldn't get an SG test on it. Alright guys, so that is looking pretty perfect for me. It's a little wider than I wanted it to be at the bottom, but trying to keep that weight on it. Now, oh, I still see a little bit of that crack there, so I'm going to still work that a bit out. Yeah, that's a lot better. Now we got rid of that crack. Now, what we're going to do, guys, is we are going to start doming. So, basically, how you dome is you ride this edge on the top of the stone. So basically, guys, you ride this edge on the top of the stone all the way around on the wheel, and you just keep going around and around and around and around, and the longer you do it, the more you meet up into the center, and that's going to dome your stone for you. So let's start doming. So if you guys look, you can see how I'm just carving that very top corner out. And that's what I mean by it's going to meet in the center. The more and more I do it, it's going to eat down the side and eat in the top. I may not be explaining this with my words as well as I'd like to, but I hope you guys are getting the hang of it by watching me do it. And also I should show you guys, as you're cutting, rest the stone onto your finger on an angle, and you just slowly rotate it while keeping it on your finger, and that'll help keep it nice and level so you don't make any pits as you're doing it, because you don't want to go too deep in one section and not deep enough on another section, because that's going to cause your cabochon to be off center and off level and not look very pretty. Okay guys, so now that I got a slight dome going on here, what I'm going to do is we are going to jump from the 150 grit wheel, which is very, very coarse, it eats the stone fairly quickly, to the 300 wheel, which is a lot softer. If I was to run my finger on this for a few minutes, it would literally eat through my fingers. So this is not the same as a lapidary blade. This thing will chew your finger up a bit. It's not cutting me like a saw blade, but it's kind of grinding away like a microfine cheese grater. So now we're going to go to the 300, and that is going to make the dome a lot smoother and help us get rid of these pits here without completely eating through that jade cap. So let's jump on the 300. Alright guys, now this stuff is called dopping wax, and basically what this does is it helps you hold it on your dop stick so that it's easier for you to work the stone and you don't got to chew up your fingers so much by holding them on the wheels. So what you got to do is you got to grab your stone. I just had it sitting on a hot plate so that it's a little bit warmed up. And you got to get some of that free wax here. Get a nice amount on there. Wrap it around. Go. Now you let that wax fall off your dop stick onto your cab. There you go. Push it down all the way around. Oh, sorry. That was really out of view for you guys. Want to make sure you get it pushed down nice. Now guys, to do this, you don't have to get as fancy as getting a whole dopping station and stuff like that. You can literally use a head of a nail and some super glue. That works just as well. You can lick your finger even a little. Pull it back down. Pretty good there. Move it up a bit. Go, cool it off. And that is how you have your cab on a dop stick. So now let's keep getting this dome up and see how this polishes. Alright guys, so now that we are off of the 3000 wheel and we have a rough polish going on the stone here, what we are going to do is we are going to move to the felt wheel, which is on the side, and use something that is called cerium oxide powder. So I'm not exactly sure of what this stuff is made out of. Cerium oxide, I guess. But I know that it is basically equivalent to a 50,000 polish compound. So it helps us get a really nice polish on this stone. So come back to you guys when the stone is ready and beautiful. Alright guys, so here is our finished product. We got that edge around the stone almost perfectly even. The dome is as well fairly even. This stuff took a really nice polish. Super cool, guys. I tried to backlight it, but it still has way too much of the serpentine body on it for the light to get completely through it. But the top piece does have some nice translucency to it. But I do want to find a much thicker lens of this stuff because it does take such a beautiful polish, guys. But yeah, that is basically how you cut a cabochon. So now you guys at home, once you buy one of these really expensive machines, you guys can cut your finds into gemstones. Sweet. Well guys, that's a wrap for this adventure. We had an absolute blast checking out that new spot on the lower Coquihalla River, and I really hope I was able to give you guys a few tips how to work a cab machine. If you guys enjoyed that video, please leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you'd like to, and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of awesome adventures coming up in the near future. Till the next one.